What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Michael Morales is already back in training after his impressive win over Sean Brady at UFC 322. That victory pushed him straight into the title picture, elevating him to the number 4 spot in the welterweight rankings. Instead of taking time off, Morales looks more motivated than ever, jumping right back into sparring almost immediately. It's a clear sign that he wants to keep the momentum going and position himself for a potential title eliminator or even a championship opportunity. The young contender shared a clip on social media showing him putting in hard rounds, staying sharp and focused just days after his big performance. His speed, composure, and work ethic were on full display, reminding fans why he's quickly becoming one of the most talked about talents in the division. With this kind of dedication, Morales is making it clear he's aiming for the very top, and he's not planning to slow down anytime soon. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Paddy Pimblett has delivered his first reaction to securing an interim title fight against Justin Gaethje, and he wasted no time stirring things up. In a video released by the UFC, Paddy laid out his entire roadmap for the future, confidently stating that he plans to win the interim belt, dethrone Ilia, and then defend the undisputed title against Arman in 2026. He said this will be the earliest he has ever fought in a year, with a January matchup that's going to interfere with his Christmas dinner and even his birthday, which lands just a few weeks before the fight. Still, he insisted it will all be worth it once he lifts that title above his head and officially becomes a world champion. Paddy boldly claimed that 2026 is going to be the biggest year of his life. He explained he's coming for that interim belt, and once he has it, he plans to turn it into the undisputed title by beating Ilia. He didn't stop there. Taking a jab at Arman, he called him a little posh boy, mocking him for sitting out and claiming he has a sore back. Paddy said that if Arman manages to stay active, keep his ranking, and actually fight during that time, he'll happily punch his head in as well. And after the interim title fight was officially announced, Paddy jumped straight onto social media to troll Arman even further. He posted a cheeky message on X, writing, "You like apples?" making it clear he's fully embracing the rivalry and leaning into the chaos as he heads into the biggest opportunity of his career. Moving on to another news. Diego Lopes seems completely unfazed by all the backlash surrounding his second title shot against Alex Volkanovski at UFC 325. Ever since the announcement dropped, fans and fellow contenders have been voicing their frustration, calling the decision unfair and confusing. The reaction has been overwhelmingly negative. Former champion Aljamain Sterling went on a long, fiery rant about merit being ignored. Lerone Murphy shared that he was heartbroken after being overlooked yet again, and Movsar Evloev said he wasn't surprised at all, hinting that the UFC has been making these types of decisions far too often. Despite all the noise, the matchup is set, and Lopes made it clear he isn't bothered one bit. On Friday, he posted a photo on X with a caption aimed directly at his critics. In the post, he wrote, "My face when I saw everyone crying. Sitting around won't give you a title fight. Get to work and stop whining on social media." His message was sharp, direct, and clearly designed to shut down the backlash. Lopes appears focused solely on the fight ahead, ignoring the negativity and refusing to apologize for an opportunity he didn't ask for, but was given. While others feel the system failed them, Lopes is embracing the moment, proving that he's not letting outside opinions affect his mindset as he heads into another massive championship showdown. Moving on to another news. Justin Gaethje got exactly what he was hoping for, and his reaction makes it clear he's fired up for what's ahead. After the announcement of his UFC 325 interim title fight against Paddy Pimblett, Gaethje jumped onto social media to share his excitement and gratitude. This matchup marks a huge moment not only for him, but also for the UFC, as it kicks off its new partnership with Paramount+, and Gaethje made sure to acknowledge how special that feels. In his post, Gaethje wrote, "What a ride it is. So thankful for the opportunity to start off this new partnership with the UFC and Paramount+. Perfect dance partner for another unforgettable night to prove once again I am one of the best and most exciting fighters of this era. I will be ready to go." His message highlights exactly who he is as a fighter. He's always been known for his intensity, his willingness to walk into chaos, and his ability to deliver unforgettable performances no matter the stage. Gaethje has been chasing another chance to climb back toward undisputed gold, and this interim title shot is the perfect opportunity to push himself right into that position. With a matchup against someone as polarizing and unpredictable as Pimblett, he seems more motivated than ever. This fight promises fireworks, and Gaethje is embracing every bit of it, ready to remind the world why he's considered one of the most thrilling athletes to ever step into the octagon. Moving on to another news, TJ Dillashaw says Ilia is running from Arman, and he didn't hold back while explaining why he believes the UFC champion is avoiding that matchup. On the latest episode of the Jackson podcast, Dillashaw broke down the situation surrounding Ilia's talk about moving up to 170 for a potential super fight with Islam Makhachev. He made it clear he doesn't think the UFC would actually allow that move right now, especially with so many contenders stacked at welterweight. Dillashaw acknowledged that Ilia is one of the most skilled fighters in the UFC today, but he also believes that the matchup with Arman is the real issue and the real reason Ilia might want to look elsewhere. He explained that Arman is big, strong, incredibly well-rounded, and one of the toughest fighters at lightweight. His boxing is sharp, his grappling is clean, and he has the perfect physicality for the division. Dillashaw even joked that anyone would want to avoid Arman after watching his recent performances, saying he'd run from him too, even without knowing him personally. Dillashaw emphasized that, despite Ilia expressing interest in chasing Islam at 170, the idea simply doesn't make sense. With so many contenders at welterweight, and with the lightweight division waiting for clarity, he believes Ilia's path is obvious. According to him, the only fight that truly matters right now is Ilia versus Arman, and any talk of moving divisions is just a way to delay that showdown. He reiterated that Ilia's skill level is incredibly high, possibly the highest in the UFC at the moment. But even then, Arman presents a unique and dangerous threat. For Dillashaw, that's exactly why Ilia seems hesitant to commit to the fight. In his view, the matchup is inevitable, and it's the only one that makes sense for the division moving forward. Moving on to another news, Alex Volkanovski has reacted to Diego Lopes receiving yet another title shot, and he made it clear he doesn't think Lopes deserves it. The reaction across the MMA world has already been mixed after Dana White's latest set of announcements, and things only intensified when he confirmed that Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett will headline UFC 324 for an interim lightweight title. That decision alone sparked backlash, especially because it meant Arman was once again left waiting, and he wasn't the only top contender being overlooked. White then revealed that UFC 325 in Sydney will feature a rematch between Volkanovski and Lopes, giving the Mexican star his second title shot. This came ahead of fighters like Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev, both of whom Volkanovski believes are clearly more deserving. In his latest YouTube video, he broke down the situation, explaining that he originally expected to fight in December. He and his team thought Murphy was the obvious option, and they were preparing for that timeline. But the UFC, he said, kept waiting on Gene Silva and Lopes, and eventually pushed Lopes as the challenger again. Volkanovski admitted he was surprised, especially since he just fought Lopes, and he questioned whether the UFC should have gone in a different direction. Still, he reiterated that he has always been willing to fight anyone the promotion puts in front of him, and he'll do whatever matchup they choose. He explained that for a while, the fight didn't even look like it was going to materialize, and then suddenly, everything clicked into place. He emphasized that Murphy and Evloev were the two names he believed deserved the shot. They were the ones he called out, and the ones he felt had earned the opportunity through consistency and performance. But the UFC wanted Lopes, likely because of the style matchup and the excitement their first fight generated. Volkanovski acknowledged that while others may be more deserving, Lopes brings a type of chaos and intensity that fans appreciate. He said that when it comes to action, he and Lopes will deliver another wild fight, even if the rankings suggest someone else should have been next. Moving on to another news, Aljamain Sterling continues to voice his frustration over Diego Lopes receiving another title shot, especially when he believes there are contenders who have clearly earned the opportunity ahead of him. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Aljo broke down his thoughts and questioned why the UFC made this decision, emphasizing that the criteria for title shots feels more confusing than ever. He explained that he understands what the UFC is trying to do from a business standpoint, suggesting that the promotion wants a champion who can represent both Mexico and Brazil, two massive markets. But for him, the issue is not the marketing strategy. It's the complete lack of clarity on how these decisions are made. Sterling reflected on how the sport has changed since he joined. When he entered the UFC at 24, merit actually meant something. The promotion was built on the idea that the best fighters would face the best, and that rankings and performances mattered. Now, at 36, he feels that narrative has shifted dramatically. Instead of rewarding the most deserving athletes, the UFC seems to reward the most popular ones. He argued that if someone is popular enough and can fight just a little bit, the promotion will throw them into a title shot. It doesn't matter if the fighter only beat a few favorable matchups or gained attention through highlight wins. Popularity now outweighs merit. He continued by saying, it becomes frustrating for fighters who spend years grinding, taking on tough opponents, and following the supposed system. They're told that if they win, if they work hard, and if they beat the right people, they'll get their chance. But how can they eat what they kill, as the sport often preaches, if they're never given the opportunity to hunt in the first place? He made it clear that fighters like Lopes jumping the line sends the message that the sport is no longer strictly about competition. For Sterling, it feels like the definition of deserving changes depending on what benefits the UFC most at the moment. Moving on to another news, Khabib has reportedly been offered an astonishing $100 million to return for a single fight at the White House. And Dana White is reportedly pulling out all the stops to make it happen. Multiple Russian outlets claim that Saudi businessmen are ready to back the UFC to finance Khabib's salary if he agrees to come out of retirement for this one event. The figure being discussed is $100 million, a sum no fighter in UFC history has ever even come close to earning. The scale of this offer highlights just how valuable Khabib is to the sport, even years after retiring. Reports indicate that United States President Donald Trump is fully on board with the idea, seeing Khabib as the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world. The White House setting adds a massive spectacle element, making this a fight unlike anything fans have ever witnessed. Dana White is said to have the Saudi investors lined up, though it's still unclear whether his new partner, Turki Al-Sheikh, is also involved in the negotiations. Khabib has turned down multiple offers to return over the years, but Dana is likely hoping that this unprecedented offer might finally tempt him back into the octagon. Trump has even personally called out Khabib, urging him to fight the new champion. While details are still sparse, there's speculation about whether the fight would take place at lightweight and who exactly the new champion would be. What's certain is that the UFC is aiming to create a spectacle unlike anything seen before, blending star power, political intrigue, and an unmatched payday for one of the sport's biggest names. This fight, if it happens, would not only make history for the financial aspect, but also for the event's scale and global attention. The combination of Khabib's legacy, a White House backdrop, and the sheer size of the offer has created one of the most talked about potential comebacks in MMA history, showing just how much influence the sport now carries, and how far promoters are willing to go to make a single fight a global phenomenon. Moving on to another news. Alex Volkanovski's coach was visibly shocked when Diego Lopes landed a rematch for the title, especially with top contenders like Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev waiting in line. Speaking to Submission Radio, Coach Joe Lopez said he didn't expect the UFC to give the fight to Lopes, who Volkanovski had just defeated in April via unanimous decision, leaving no doubt about who the superior fighter was. He explained that initially, the team thought the next title shot would go to either Movsar or Murphy, or possibly the winner between Murphy and another contender. They were closely watching the rankings and performances, and after Murphy delivered a spectacular knockout, it seemed like he was the obvious choice. Everything pointed toward Murphy, and the team was confident he was next in line for a title opportunity. However, everything changed after Diego Lopes pulled off his own knockout. Coach Lopez said the landscape shifted instantly, and suddenly the UFC's decision made sense in terms of timing and marketability, even if it was surprising from a merit-based perspective. The knockout victory by Lopez turned heads and created momentum that couldn't be ignored. Despite the shock, Coach Lopez emphasized that Volkanovski is prepared for any opponent the UFC places in front of him. The team remains focused on maintaining peak performance and strategy, ensuring that Volkanovski is ready to defend his title regardless of who gets the shot. The situation highlighted the unpredictable nature of the sport, where a single performance can rapidly alter the title picture, and even the most obvious contenders can be bypassed in favor of fighters who capture attention with dramatic victories.